Hi everyone. Today I've got a 1912 USA minted Whitney Bros 1 cent slot machines only token that was used in Australia in 1912, and that's an American 1 cent coin. And you may ask why, and that's because the Whitney brothers, they owned a same day while you wait photo booth in America, and for the patrons they had slot machines and they played them while they waited for their photos. They were invited to come here with their photo booth to the opening of Luna Park at St Kilda Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, on the 13th of December 1912. They also brought with them some USA slot machines. They were to set up the booth called Whitney's Electric Photographic Studio, and the slots at the Penny Arcade area, which was straight ahead as you entered the Luna Park. And it was the first while you wait photo studio gallery. I haven't been to Luna Park in Melbourne for quite a while, I can tell you, but I do remember that in the 70s and 80s, as soon as you walked in, you were looking straight at the Penny Arcade, and right there next to the punch ball, to see how strong you were, was a photo machine. It was a coin operated one at that time, and I gather that's exactly where they were probably set up. So anyhow, back to the story. At the time of the invite, which was about 1910-11, US slots were used in 5 cent nickels at 21.21 diameter, or 5 cent tokens of various sizes. So our closest coin was a sixpence, and that was 5 cents at 19 mil. But it seems it was coming to Australia. We had a penny arcade, they had to be pennies. So the equivalent to the penny is 1 cent. Now, our penny was 30.8 mil, way too big for the coin slots. So the bros had to mint their own tokens, and they did. They were 19 millimeters for the 1 cent tokens to fit the slots that they brought to Melbourne's Luna Park. With little time to mint new 1 cent tokens, US were 5 cent coins or 5 cent tokens at the time. So they had enough money. I think it was money. It might have cost them $50. I'm not sure now, but they only made a bag of 2,500 tokens, 1 cent tokens, and they brought them to Luna Park with them. Now, on the opening of Luna Park, December 13th, 1912, I believe that they handed out a token to each person on entry, which was a wise move to get their customers. And the bros were very shrewd, and they did know that slots attracted people. And so they used those slots to attract people to their photo booth, and they made money on both. So they had this photo booth there, and you could dress up in a range of things. You could go into the cardboard funnies, put your head through, and that make postcards. And the Whitney brothers also had a photo studio that they set up in Bourke Street, Melbourne, Australia, where they put the slot machines when Luna Park shut down between 1916 and 1923. So somewhere between 21 22, the Whitney brothers, the remaining, and I read it was 500 tokens, and the slot machines all went back to the USA. We never had any or very few slot machines in 1912 here in Australia, because we only started minting our coins in 1911, and it may have been illegal too somewhere there, I'm not sure. So they brought their own machines with them anyway. Now, if this is true, there's approximately 2,000 tokens left behind. So there's who knows how many left, how many have been lost. So they're ultra rare to find. They were made for Australia only and not used in the USA, because from around 1910 onwards, all the slot machines were 5 and 10 cents in the USA. The unused 500 tokens, they weren't used when they went back to America, because all the slots were 5 and 10s, and they were 1 cent. And so I believe that the Whitney brothers melted them down and turned them into 10 cent tokens. So anyway, so after returning to America, they set up a photo booth and a shooting gallery in 1923 at Shoots at the Beach. And that's a San Francisco, USA, long road, beach road there. And everybody used to go there with what I gather was all little sideshows. And these little sideshows ended up combining and turning into a theme park as such. So in these theme parks, a lot of the what they call concessions in there were privately owned. So the brothers owned it, but there was still a lot of other people owned individual rides and things within that park. So anyway, so they bought that in 1927, roughly about 1927. They purchased the Shoots at the Beach, renamed it Whitney's at the Beach, but generally everybody was calling it Playland at the Beach, theme parks. Shoots at the Beach, which was based on Luna Park, Seattle, USA, 1907 to 1913, which in turn was based on Coney Island's Luna Park from 1903 to 44. And thus our own Luna Parks were based on those USA parks. And I believe I read again somewhere that the architect who designed the USA versions did design our Melbourne Luna Park and possibly the Sydney one, but the Melbourne one I believe it designed, financed and possibly owned it up into the 50s. I'm not sure. So on to my find. In 2009 I rented a house in Albion Sunshine in Melbourne, 15 k's from Luna Park. And 3 years after that, after I moved in, I got my cheap metal detector out and started checking out the backyard, and I went out the front yard. In the front flower garden there, it pinged, and I took this token out of there. At which what is led me to research all of this to find out how did a 1 cent token, so I would get in Australia when we didn't go decimal to 1966. And so it pinged, and the date that I found it was the 8th of December 2012, 5 days before Melbourne's Luna Park was about to have its 100th birthday. Hey? Unreal. So it was pretty bad condition. It was a golden brass colour, which was obviously a coating on the outside because when I cleaned it, it's come up like copper red. But it was all nice and clean, and I got it all ready, and it got to celebrate its 100th year. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll try and find some other stuff I've got to put on. And thanks again. Bye-bye.